Hello and welcome to Minimise Debt, Maximise Cash with Top Service, where each episode we will give you tips on how to maximise your cash and minimise your debt in the construction industry. My name is Emma Riley, Top Service CEO, and recently awarded the Credit Professional of the Year 2025 at the British Credit Awards. Thank you very much. In today's episode, Lauren Woolley, Head of Business Operations, talks to Phillip King, Non-Executive Director, about how to get paid promptly. Please enjoy.
Every company wants to minimise the number of invoices that are paid late and increase the number that are paid on the due date, Lauren. What can they do to increase the chances of being paid promptly?
Well, first of all, agree to the payment terms before the invoice is raised and submitted. Make sure that you've got the right address on there and the invoice terms are actually on your invoice as such. Make sure that it's sent to the right person and at the right address. You haven't missed any relevant information out, because if you miss out a purchase order, that could delay the process of it being approved and you being paid. And finally, if we're dealing with large sums or potentially it's a new customer, make sure that you're making contact with them quite shortly after the invoice has been raised, so you can make sure that it is in the process of being approved for payment ultimately.
Good advice, Lauren. I love the fact that you're reinforcing the need for action before the due date rather than when it's arrived. However, the reality is that some customers won't pay when they should. What should you do when an invoice is unpaid on the due date?
Yeah, well, to put it bluntly, Phil, get yourself on the phone and ask where your money is. If you have carried out works or supplied goods or services to a satisfactory level, then ultimately the funds should be in your account and not theirs, because whilst you're not chasing payment, whilst you're not making yourself known for those funds, somebody else is. So ultimately you need to make yourself a bit of a nuisance and get yourself paid.
Yeah, and the worst case is that they get paid and then you don't, and the business goes bust. And you're
absolutely.
left carrying bad debt. But some companies will worry that they risk alienating the customer if they become a nuisance, won't they?
I mean, it is a risk. It's something to factor in, most definitely, but it's weighing up which is worse. So in my opinion, not being paid is the worser end of the stick with that. So I would make sure that you're getting yourself in there, you're getting yourself paid. As I said, make yourself known, because somebody might be shouting louder than you and they're the ones that end up being paid if you don't. Ultimately, put yourself out there, make yourself known, get yourself paid. And if you're doing it appropriately with the right tone, the right level of communication, you're professional about it, I often find that you end up earning respect rather than hostility. Yeah.
I recall working for an IT company years and years and years ago, and we won our biggest ever contract with a high street name. And the contract was to maintain and install all of their point of sale machines, because in those days it was tills where individually around the place. And it was the most prestigious contract we'd ever won. And my managing director called me in and said, we really have to maintain this contract well. Don't, whatever you do, let your people ring them up and ask for payment. Just let it go, because we really want to keep them. And we were called in after 3 months to do an audit, and we were marked on smartness of engineers, promptness, how well the job was done. And the only thing we were downgraded on was not having chased invoices that had fallen down the cracks, because in the high street names view, that meant we weren't efficient and we were likely to be damaging our own cash flow. And it wasn't long before I got a call from the managing director saying that he changed his tune and thought we should be much more professional about chasing cash. So I guess you'd agree that the most important thing is to react as soon as an invoice is unpaid on the due date. And you have a system to make sure that happens.
Yeah, most definitely. It shouldn't be unexpected that you're chasing funds that are outstanding and that are owed to you, and I think that's part of your credibility.
Yeah. So you and your colleagues at Top Service have clearly got a lot of expertise in this area. If someone wanted to talk to you and get advice on what they should do and so on, how would they reach you?
They can have a look on our website, and they can contact our member support team 01527 518 802. There's always somebody on hand there to support and help and assist where we can. So yeah.
Hello, Emma here again. Thank you for listening. If there are any other questions, please do contact us on LinkedIn. Just search Top Service Limited. And also do check out a video version of this podcast on our YouTube channel. Once again, search for Top Service Limited. If we don't see you online, we will see you in the next episode where we will help you to maximise your cash and minimise your debt. Bye bye from Top Service.